When you're out here, I think it's developing a sense of more than self. It's not all about us, it's about this place, it's about the plants and animals that live here, it's about our relationships, our families, our communities. I think when you're out here away from the everyday clutter, you can reflect more on who we are and what's meaningful in our lives. I'm Bob Schnieder. I'm the Senior Policy Director for Tuleyome. And Tuleyome is a conservation organization based in Woodland. And we work in this northern inner coast range and also the western Sacramento Valley. It has these three core areas at Cedar Ruffs, Cache Creek, and Snow Mountain Wilderness. And then there's a couple 5,000 acre roadless areas. And they're all connected by these other public lands. So the animals can be protected in these core areas, and then they can wander from one area to another area. And they need to be able to do that to reproduce over time. And then moving over to Snow Mountain, and I think I first climbed Snow Mountain in the late 60s in the winter, and it's going to be quite a mountain in the winter. Snow Mountain's 7,000 feet. It's the same elevation as Donner Summit in the Sierra Nevada, and people don't really think of the Coast Range that way. When I think of who I am, I still think of myself as a climber, and what does that mean? Certainly it's a lifestyle, but in climbing, you're so intimately involved with the land or the peaks or the route. You know, I climbed around the world a lot, and I feel like I've kind of come back to my roots and my home in this regard. And you look in your backyard, and what's my backyard, and what's there, and what do I want to know about it? And for me, of course, thinking about the incredible geology of this region, which epitomizes plate tectonics, is just exciting. I'm standing next to a nice big outcrop of serpentine, our state rock. And here in the Rathburn Petrie mine, there's a lot of mercury ores. That's all taken out of the land here, and all these tailings are strewed everywhere. And they, of course, don't get all the ores, so a lot of it's in these tailings. So these mercury-laden waters then that percolate out of these pits carry that mercury downstream into Bear Creek, into Cache Creek, and into the Bay Delta system. And one of the issues is just people eat the mercury that's been taken up by the fish. Because this rock is very high in iron and magnesium, lots of plants can't grow in the soils that form from this, but certain plants that only grow on these soils, and so they become rare and endemic, and you find even the same plant that grows at this location might be different than the one that grows at Cedar Ruffs. So even within these islands of serpentine, you have all of these plants evolving slightly differently. I think I do it for my kids and other people's kids. And my kids say, "Thanks, Dad," and that means a lot to me. And what it means really is they also now appreciate their place, this area where they grew up in, and what it means and why it's important. And they can carry on that tradition. Every time I go out on a raft with kids that have never had the opportunity to raft on Cache Creek, it reminds me of what my dad did for me. And those kids wouldn't have the opportunity. And to the extent we're able to, even once, provide a day of fun for kids that don't know what that word means, I think we've made a huge difference.